people and their opinions, man. And, you know, opinion is made, I thought opinion, when you want to give your opinion about something, your motive should be right. Your motive as to why you're giving an opinion should be to better something. Opinions were used for people that's mutual, like on like right here, and then they talk about, well, I think this should happen. Well, my opinion, I think that should happen. When people start telling, when an artist starts to tell a person that has been hot for 20 years in the business and still hot, still producing and still writing, with, you know, Grammys and every award that you can imagine that they've won, and you haven't won any, and you start giving your opinion, you will end up looking bad, you know, to anybody that's smart or have any kind of sense. You'll end up looking bad and you'll end up looking lost. It's like to give me your opinion on what I should do musically. R. Kelly, and this is not ego, we're dealing strictly from my stats when I talk. When you try to give me your opinion or give the world your opinion of what you think about me, of what I should do musically, first of all, you should have called me, but really you shouldn't have, you know? Right. But if you're going to step out on that kind of limb, which is very, very, very thin, then you should make a call, a personal call, if this is a personal feeling. Now, but if you're trying to sell an album and start a beef, you know, you would make it public. You understand what I'm saying? You would make it public, and the public would hear it, and they would go, ooh, did you hear what so-and-so said about so-and-so? Girl, he tripping. You know, ooh, man, I want to go hear that album, because that's what you think is going to happen. But you have to be very, very careful of that, because why would I tell Stevie Wonder, even though he doesn't have an album out, why should I tell Stevie Wonder, you know, Stevie, man, you need to quit doing that, or you need to do that music. You don't need to, or talk about Stevie Wonder. I would not do that, because Stevie Wonder has fans as well, and it's just not the right thing to do. This music industry and the young people, they're losing respect for who've paved the way. Not saying that I paved the way for music, but no, just as Stevie Wonder and Charlie Wilson and Donny Hathaway and Sam Cooke paved the way for the R. Kellys, and the Aaron Halls, and the, you know, and the Dreams and everybody else. As we come up, we're paving the way for the next person to come through, But you cannot give your opinion, talk about someone who has done what they've done, you know, in this industry, which has changed the industry and brought new genre of music and ideas to the industry, and still doing it. You don't do that, you know. It's like trying to throw a rock on the top of the Sears Tower. But fortunately, I am smart enough, and I am wise enough that I don't need to retaliate, you know, to sell my album, to be a better man, a bigger man, or a tougher guy. You know, I don't need to retaliate to do any of that, you know. And besides, I'm going to tell you this, and I want you to listen. Elephants don't swat flies.
Facebook lied to you. Radio lied to you. Radio.
So I'm pretty sure by now everyone has heard that K. Michelle is getting some backlash because of her recent tweets. She gave people the impression that she was supporting R. Kelly. And then when people got to commenting their opinions, she quickly cleaned up what she meant to say, according to her. It's kind of like what we see on these YouTube streets, and how people feel like it's okay for them to give their comments on others. But then when the person they're commenting on replies, then it's a problem. I don't get that. Jaguar Wright, for example, has spent a lot of time brewing over the things that she's brought to us in recent months. She tells us out of her own mouth that she has studied the analytics. She has studied the trends. So it's far-fetched for people to believe that she could have perpetuated the action she's fulfilling today. These allegations she's making against people could be mere hearsay for all we know. We've caught her contradicting herself numerous times. So this video is just going to serve an example as to how I think people should be more mindful as to, yes, everyone has a right to their opinion. Everyone has a right to voice their opinion. But sometimes people need to think about the comments they're making about others. The same people will be the first ones to say Black Lives Matter, will be the first ones to disrespect and downgrade another brown-skinned person who doesn't agree with them. Is that right? Watch this video to the end.
Y'all need to ask Tasha K how I handled. Yeah, actually, y'all need to ask Tasha K how I handled up on K Michelle. And now look at her. Her ass is eating her inside out. She a whole damn mess. She keep putting out music, and it's all auto tune. And for what? I'm gonna tell you why. Because you didn't testify about what R. Kelly did to you and what you saw R. Kelly do to other people. K Michelle. I'm just curious how Ava DuVernay let you get by. How did Ava DuVernay interview K Michelle about her affiliation with R. Kelly? That's okay. I'm investigating it. I gotta go. The nurse is back. My husband wants me to get off. Love y'all.
I never said anything bad about the chick. I don't even really acknowledge her as a person because to me, she's not a person. She's a cartoon character. You know, she don't stand up for nothing. She don't do nothing. You know, and you know, it's just crazy. So when I was, you know, I mean, like sometimes I just have VH1 on because I study trends. You know, I'm a marketing person, so I study the trends and see the viability of reality TV, all of this stuff that's going on. So, you know, sometimes I'll just turn on VH1, see what's going on, Black and Crew, Love and Hip Hop. I can't really say that I'm a fan of it, but I do have to acknowledge that it is relevant in some way. So I have to, as an artist, I have to study why it's relevant. So I had it on you know, Memorial Day, and they had that whole marketing branding bonanza that they call the wedding. And, you know, I hear my girlfriend's song, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. My girl, you know what I mean? My girl, Lila James, her song is on a nationally televised event. This is awesome. So I queued up my phone so I can film my girl and post it and just be like, yo, I'm so happy for her. And then I see K Michelle singing it. So, you know me, I speak candidly, and I stand 10 feet tall on everything that I say. So all I said was, yo, I don't know how I feel about this. It's the Lila James song. I didn't say that the girl sang bad. I didn't say anything bad about her. I didn't say nothing. All I said was, how do we really feel about this? Has reality-based television crossed the sacred line? Now, let's look at the relevance. If you like the song so much that you want to put it in your nationally televised wedding, why wouldn't you put the person on the event that actually sang the song? Now, this isn't an old Lila James song. This isn't a catalog song. This is her current single that she's currently on the road promoting right now.
Right.
Now, fast forward, she's also a reality TV star on a competing network where she used her platform on the show to promote that song. Healthier. So, I'm just like, yo, VH1 don't usually give rights to other networks. And if they were going to have K. Michelle sing at the wedding, I didn't understand why they didn't have her sing one of her own songs. Because usually they don't share their branding platform at all.
Right.
So I'm just like, yo, how do we really feel about this? Next thing I know, K. Michelle getting on my page, calling me out of my name, talking all crazy, all her little fans, which I find really, really, really funny because all her fans is like between the ages of like 4 and 10. You know, I mean, they're all like children. They're all like children, and they're sitting here saying that they hope I get raped. That old baldy. You know, like these are children disrespecting an elder. Like, forget who I am. These are children disrespecting their elder.
Right.
Someone old enough to be their mother, and for some of them, old enough to be their grandma. Let's keep it 100. So, you got all your little minions doing all this stuff. Then my son gets online and is like, yo, if my mom is such a nothing and you're such a everything, why are y'all coming at her so hard? Yo, y'all kind of lighting their hand for that one. Now you start fighting back and forth with my child?
Wow.
Being disrespectful to my child. Now, did I say anything about her baby who she got in Memphis being raised by his grandparents while she out here getting all of her plastic surgery and running around acting like a nut? I didn't say nothing about her child. Nothing. And thank God he's there with her because as light in the head as she is, he needs an adult to raise him. You know what I'm saying? I've been a mother for over 20-some odd years. My son will be 22 this year. My baby's going to be 13. I would never disrespect or embarrass my children in such a way.
Right.
But this is what you got calling K. Michelle with everything that I do. Ain't nothing but showing love. And to this day, I still have not called her out of her name. I still have not disrespected her child. I have not done nothing. So let's just keep this 100. Ma, you don't want it with me. I'm not going to let you drag me out of my character because the person that I used to be, see, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have had nothing to say. I'd have just tracked you down, found out where you were, your tour schedules and your show schedules is all online. I would show up at your show. They're going to let me in because I am who I am. I'm going to snatch you by your lace front. I'm going to drag you. And I will kill you. You don't even know me like that.
They don't know they playing with Al-Qaeda.
I don't talk. You know what I'm saying? You don't go flipping the bird to ISIS. I'm a terrorist. I'm a thug. Straight from North Philly. I've been shot, I've been stabbed, and I survived it all. You don't know me. You sitting on tables, you sitting on TV, shaking tables.
These niggas done turning stuff and everything.
Right. That's why I got a little lost.
Let them keep talking. Oh, Lord.
That's what I'm saying. I knew it was your song that she sang, and they give you any credit. So you mad because
Good morning. Got it. Yeah. But, no, but I was trying to support my girlfriend. Because it caught me off guard.
Oh, you got me too? I got class. For me? Oh, okay. All right, guys.
It caught me off guard because I heard the music playing. I was like, oh my God, it's Leela.
Right.
And I queued my phone up.
Diva thing, right? R&B.
Yeah, she's on R&B Divas. So I queued up my phone to take my girlfriend because it must be her. It's a new single. It's not like it's a old song. And here comes K. Michelle.
What did she clear it up with Leela J?
Oh no, they have the same management company or whatever. She tried to act like they're friends, but they really not. But
you were angry because
I wasn't angry at all. I said I don't know how I feel about this. This is a Leela James song, and I put in my text like, how doesn't she have? Doesn't K. Michelle have songs of her own? VH1 don't usually. You know what I mean? Like, accredit other networks. They usually do that. I posted on Instagram.
So I better get it.
And I asked my followers on my page, how do we feel about this? Has reality-based television gone too far? And then boom, next thing I know, I put my phone down. I wake up 11 o'clock. I done went to feed the homeless, went to public stores to check on my stuff. I was sticking up for my girlfriend. I was just like, I wish. Leela was like, yo, Jagger, you cool? Are you all right? And I'm like, Lily, stay out of it. I can handle it. I'm fine. I don't care about what none of these people say.
So what did Kay say to you?
Oh, she came for my son.
Your son?
Yeah, because
on Instagram.
On
Did
Instagram.
so much for no reason.
She did the most for less. She did the most. Hashtag the most for less.
So
And then she's talking about her $3 million house and all
Your
that.
$3 million house that you rented?
Song.
Your $3 million house that you rented? Oh, I know killers that'll come up there and rob you tomorrow. Just for talking smack about me. I had to talk people down. Like, you don't even That's why I said what I said. You don't even
How
know
long
about
she been in
messing
the
with.
industry? Just saying, I'm getting a $3 million house though.
Who cares about an overpriced house in New Jersey? I'm about to get the same house in Dallas, Texas for $325,000. I think that makes me a lot smarter.
Yeah.
Now, after watching all those clips, it kind of gives a little background to the beef between Jaguar Wright and K. Michelle. It also kind of gives a little insight as to things that we see playing out on YouTube. We see people making comments, which lead to responses, which lead to people going back and forth, delivering messages, sometimes misquoting. Then you have the he said, she said, and the irrational responses. In all, I find it quite interesting to know that Jaguar Wright 5 years ago claims to been doing the same thing that she says she's doing now. She said then she was a rape advocate. But the thing is, she also states how she was studying the trends and how things were going on the social media. With that being said, I just wonder why she didn't take opportunities then to do what she's doing now. Anyways, Jaguar Wright, of course, would not hold back in calling out K. Michelle. So you heard what she had to say, which is that K. Michelle allegedly witnessed certain things by R. Kelly. But it's strange she doesn't know that, according to things that K. Michelle has previously said, R. Kelly saved her from an abusive relationship. At the time, she was going with this guy in which she claimed was abusing her. And when she came out and gave her story, nobody believed her. On Love and Hip Hop, as a matter of fact, many of the castmates even doubted her. Very strange to see that a person would throw out their allegations but not acknowledge that. So when I saw her tweet in which she commented, I swear if Rob was here, so many of my musical questions would be answered. If you have a mentor, you need to learn as much musically as possible. But I took so days of learning for granted, never knowing this would happen to him. Before that, she stated, y'all better let people stop bullying you into or out of your true emotions. These people don't know you. You have the full right to be a free thinker and should be able to think without fear. God bless. There's some music to be made. But then after making that comment about R. Kelly, she then backtracks to say, once again, I'm not defending Single Soul. Wrong is wrong, but within separating the man from the music, musically, I've trusted him my whole career, and now it's time to trust my own self. So, of course, you had people stating how they can't separate the man from the music based on all these allegations they've heard. Funny how even with the people that support R. Kelly, at what point it was specifically people supporting R. Kelly against people who didn't support R. Kelly. Now it's just so chaotic. Everybody is just all over the place. Nonetheless, the message within this video is very simple. Everyone has a right to their opinion. Everyone has the right to voice their opinion. But sometimes some people need to think out the way they're presenting their opinions and how it affects others. Jaguar Wright, for example, she's clearly showing clear signs of mental instability. Just a few days ago, she was talking about a possible miscarriage. being on bed rest, but that hasn't stopped her one bit in continuing on this saga of calling people out. What do you think about K. Michelle's tweets? What do you think about Jaguar Wright calling out K. Michelle? Leave your comments below. Make sure you like this video, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a good day.